All right. So welcome everybody to our Janus community call. It is June 8th, and I'm going to add the agenda into the Google Meet chat. Feel free to add your name as an attendee if you'd like, or add items to the agenda as well. So I don't know if you guys want to put your initials or whatever, so we know who's talking about what, but I'm just going to make a number of announcements up front, and feel free to jump in if these are associated with you. So the first thing is, I'm sure that people have seen the Janus Showcase application is out of commission. I did try to send an email to everybody that's on our Google list, as well as in Slack. Unfortunately, the clusters that we host that on had scheduled maintenance, but we weren't aware, so those clusters won't be back till next week. And we're trying a bunch of alternate solutions to get it up and running, possibly earlier with limited functionality, but we will keep everybody up to date on that. So again, apologize, and it hurts. It hurts me as much as it hurts everyone, because I'm usually demoing the customers every day, so it's a little tough, but totally surprise to us, so apologize for that. The other thing just want to mention is that we know there's a number of PRs that are waiting for review, and we apologize, but the team for the most part is still catching up after Summit, as well as Red Hatters ourselves have a big deadline the end of June, so we've been super focused on that. But I think as soon as those kind of deadlines are, or that work is complete, you'll see more reviews coming in. Another one is, if you are interested in, if you are using the multi-cluster plugin to date, we did do a bunch of UX changes around that. So I'm just going into Janus IDP inside of plugins. The OCM has screenshots for all the way at the end. We have new screens here where you can see a list of each of the clusters, along with status, etc., some information about the version and the nodes just from the beginning. So it used to be that there were small cards that just had a dot indicating the status. So we've got that. We've got an extensive UI for that when you come to that page. And then as you drill in, we also changed some of the information that's available here as well. Just cleaned it up a little bit. I don't think we have anything. Tom, you can remind me, but I think this page is pretty much more of just a move things around rather than any new content on this details page,
Yeah,
right?
we've removed some of the confusing content.
Yes.
But yeah, other than that, it's just reshuffled to a more polished layout.
Perfect. So once we get the showcase up, I think it was installed on the showcase right before it went down, but unfortunately you'll be able to see it in a while if you're interested. Another thing, and I think Jason, I might have seen Jason come on the call, but he recently did a great blog. I think we posted this on, I don't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, but anyways, we got a ton of hits. Recommended approach to configuring tech docs for Backstage when you're running on OpenShift. So if you are looking for a recommended approach on that for when you're running on OpenShift, take a look at that blog. So that's a great one. And then let's see, Regina, I think I'll share out to you, because I know you wanted to just mention that you are doing this at DevConf.
Yeah, so we will be talking about the Backstage and the HANA's IDP, basically how the platform will work in an ecosystem. We'll be talking about that and introducing the HANA's IDP to the developer community.
Awesome, that's great. Is there anybody else on the call that might be doing anything else, Janus or Backstage related at DevConf that we know of? No? Okay, awesome. Well, good luck, and we're eager to hear how that goes, so thank you. Okay, then questions and discussion points. So I'm assuming this is Tom.
Yep. So you may remember that last time we've announced that our Helm chart is finally available in the OCP Dev Console, in the Helm catalog, which resulted in people started trying that, and that kind of led to discovery of 2 new bugs in OpenShift Dev Console, which we filed. So I think that's a good outcome in any case. So we've discovered that the form view doesn't work because of an undisclosed limitation of the rendering of those pages in the Helm catalog. So we have a fix for the chart that is merged. We have now a pending PR to propagate that updated chart catalog, but the chart is not functional or something. It's just the form view rendering doesn't work. So if you switch to the YAML tab to see the values as YAML, you can actually install that chart through the OCP console without any issues. So yeah, Serena can demo it for me. Thank you.
Yeah. I forgot I was sharing that tab as I'm going in. Like, you can keep talking, and once I get it up, we can just run through it super quick.
Yeah.
If you want.
So in addition to that, since this is undisclosed limitation, we've been talking with the OpenShift developer perspective team. Is it developer console team, right? That's how the team is named. And it seems we can't fix this issue directly or even backport that issue to different OCP versions that we support. So we opted to fix it downstream and also provide back to the community. So I've went to the chart verifier tool that is being used to gauge all the charts that land in this catalog, and actually submitted a pull request that will add an additional check to the chart verifier, telling those maintainers that charts which contain this limitation, which contains removed references in values schema, shouldn't be allowed to land in the Helm catalog in the future. So that hopefully prevents this mistake from happening to the verified supported charts submitted by other teams or other partners for Red Hat. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Do you mind if I walk through this super quick?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm just going to show you, first of all, if people, as any user, like, so as a developer or whatever, you don't have to be cluster admin, you can go into user preferences. And underneath here, typically what this says, create edit resource method, is last viewed. But I'm going to change it to form just so you would see what it will look like if that's the case. If I then go to the add page and go to Helm chart and click on backstage and click on create, what you'll see is this. So something goes wrong. I can't get to the YAML viewer. But if I am able to go back to user preferences and change that create edit resource method to YAML, then when I go to the add page and I go back down the same spots, you can work around the problem. At least I know it's not the best thing, but at least you can work around the problem. And I know if you follow the directions, you do need to make some updates here in here as well. But that's how you can successfully get through that. And I can do this, but it's not going to create it. It's not going to create it with the right information, but then you would be brought right in here. And as soon as your pod is up and running, you can just launch Backstage from here. So super quick and easy if you want a quick and dirty way to get Backstage up and running on OpenShift through the Helm chart UI. So I will go back to the notes and let you continue, Tom.
And as Serena mentioned right now, you need to change a couple of values here and there. So I'm trying to further simplify that onboarding process for OpenShift users. So any feedback is wanted on that. My idea there is that, like, we need to propagate somehow a host name to the Helm chart, right? To get the full URL if you're hosting it in the default OpenShift host on, like, if you create an OpenShift route, it auto generates a host name for it. So you need to tell Backstage this host name. We right now ask you to replace this value in 3 different places over here. switch the apps example.com. So if you go to the PR that I propose, this is basically being streamlined. So
This one here?
instead of
Okay.
changing it in 3 different places, you would update a single, you would update a single value. So it's just a quick workaround to streamline this initial setup for you if you're using the default values everywhere, default host and auto-generated routes and whatnot. So if this is something you would like to see to happen, feel free to review, feel free to add your feedback, add your ideas, how this process can be further simplified for different user scenarios. I think like you are the users of this Helm chart, so you please tell me what needs to be done there to make it even nicer experience and even simpler onboarding experience. So thank you for any future feedback on that.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. I added this next one. I don't know if Pancho's on the call. No, he's not, but I'm going to bring this up anyways. So Pancho, I think, was the one who initially provided the JFrog Artifactory plugin. And since then, somebody has not only, if somebody else has context, this is great. I just wanted to share that this is up here. Yeah.
So this person came to us that he came across our plugin and it wasn't sufficient for his needs. So he went into enhancing it, and he was asking if we would like this to see being contributed back. So I told him that we definitely want to see collaborations happening and contributions back to the community and enhancements to our common charts, because that's what the community is about, to get those things all together and refined together. So he went back and submitted a pull request. I've asked for reviews on it, and I still didn't have time to fully review it, but yeah, it's there. We will get to it eventually, and yeah, I think some of those are very nice additions. So we can get a better JFrog plugin contributed from the community. I think this is one of the first pull requests that are coming to an existing plugin from completely outside of the Janus community itself. So it's not like being a donated plugin right away, but having an existing plugin and having outside contributions to it. So I really appreciate that this is happening.
Yeah, that's awesome. We also know that there's a lot of people who have been asking for this specific for the JFrog integration. So now we're this plugin. So I think to make it better is awesome. So if interested, please take a look and add comments or suggestions. That would be terrific. Okay, next one is something about Keycloak. Who do we have to talk about that one?
That would be me again. So we have one contributor trying to contribute something to Keycloak, contribute a fix also from outside of the community, contribute a fix to the Keycloak plugin, addressing a certain issue in Backstage catalog resource naming, like what's allowed in the resource name compared to what is available in Keycloak as a username. So if you scroll down a bit, I've added a comment in there, over here, that he's trying to do some modification, some transformation of the usernames, and I'm not sure how secure these transformations are and what can we do with it. So I would welcome anybody with experience in Keycloak as well as in Backstage, or basically Kubernetes, because Backstage is using Kubernetes naming convention for resource names, so they need to be a DNS compatible names. So just to chime in and help us decide what would be the best course for user names for the imported user resources through the Keycloak plugin. So, or if you have any experience from other identity providers or plugins importing user information into Backstage or whatnot, this would be also a welcome addition.
Awesome. Before we go on, I'm just going to make a quick comment because I do see some new faces and new names here. So if anybody would like to introduce themselves, feel free to, but I'm not going to put you on the spot. But it's glad to see some new faces in the call. So thanks for joining. And as I mentioned before, if you do want to introduce yourself or add something to the agenda, please do. So I won't be that person and call people out.
Yeah, this is Darway, and I'm based in Taiwan. I'm a middleware 10 here, and since we have the Red Hat Summit, we learn about the development councils and related to this. So I got invitation, so I just thought I might come in and take a look.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Bethany.
Hey, I'll intro myself as well. My name's Beth. I'm based in the UK. I'm in the Node.js runtime team. So I wanted to join kind of to see, is there any help on the Node side, any reviews, any blog, what can we be doing to support Janus basically and leveraging our Node kind of expertise? If there's any ideas, please let me know.
Awesome. I don't know if anybody has a response to that, but we'll keep that in mind. I'm sure. I don't know if we have everybody on our team. Christoph is our backstage architect. I don't think he's able to join today, but I'm sure that there's things that we can have you contribute in the future. So thank you. Okay. Going back to the agenda then, I did want to just ask, and I'm sorry, Tom, it's like you and I are talking the whole time, but I know that we do have the web terminal up in the plugins directory. So I was just curious if we could just get a high level status for people. I'm in the wrong spot, sorry. For people to get an understanding of where we are with that and just get like a high level status. And I know it's not you, but somebody on your team did work on this.
So that was Michael who worked on it, with me supervising. It's the initial work is there. So we basically transferred what we had in the operate first into the backstage plugins repository under the Janus name. We published the npm package, so this plugin is installable. There are two things that you need for this plugin to work. You need a proxy that lives here. I'll post it into the agenda. So there's also this proxy, this other repository, where we have like a small little Golang proxy for WebSockets, because the default Kubernetes one can't relay proper information fully. So we're basically using very similar code that is used in OCP console to create their own additional proxy to relay this information. So how we originally deploy this in operate first is that you have a sidecar with this proxy together with your backstage instance, and then you can connect your plugin to this sidecar and talk to those individual OpenShift clusters. So that's what's being done right now, or that's what we have right now. The web terminal is right now tightly coupled with a cluster resource, catalog resource, like kind resource of a type Kubernetes cluster. It's not a standalone plugin that you can connect like in a component. You can't currently watch for namespaces or clusters that this component is deployed to or whatever and connect to it for that particular component. It works for a cluster context only. That will be probably an enhancement that we should start thinking about or fleshing out what we want to do with the web terminal plugin in the long run. Right now, this is just the initial works, how it was used in operate first, and it's being published under the Janus brand.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, this one is more question in general about, there's two things. well, the first one is, do we have any ideas on how we want to show custom actions and provide visibility? So today, if we go to our own community site, right, we just have an area for plugins, but we don't have an area for our custom actions. And the other thing is, what we're doing today is, as we get plugins that we think are vetted and ready, we put them into the Backstage. We put them into the Backstage marketplace, and then if they click here, it ends up bringing it into our plugins page. To my knowledge, they're not showing custom actions here in the plugin marketplace. So I'm curious if we want to expose something like custom action marketplace or something like that, or an action section here for more visibility for people to see what we've done with those custom actions. It's really a question of if anybody on the call thinks it's important for us to expose them on our community site.
I think it's good to have them. I don't know if we need a separate section. Maybe we should do tagging or something like that, that we will have like a chip filters or something with like little tags on those tiles. This is a front-end plugin. This also is a front-end and back-end plugin. This is a scaffolder action or something. So maybe that would be nice.
That's a great idea. Okay, great. Yeah, because right now these are all, right,
Yeah,
just for people who might not know, the actions are actually inside the plugins directory. I think we've got 4 right now.
yeah.
Yeah, SonarQube, Regex, Clay, and the Kubernetes one. And I know we have a number of others that are planned. Okay, great. Anybody else have feedback on that?
We can very
feel free.
sorry, just if we go with this tagging road, we can very easily implement it, because like in the package JSON, we have the plugin role already available. So we can use that as the differentiator or filter.
Nice. Okay,
Maybe.
perfect. Thank you. All right, the last thing is, and I know that we're looking for other contributions as well, but we do have some ideas for for contributions of blogs. So that link will bring, oh, I don't know why this one says. That one probably shouldn't have the blog label. So yeah, that if anybody's interested in writing a blog and has this knowledge, or like how you create a first Backstage plugin, front or back end, or a golden path template, we're definitely looking for this type of thing. So if anybody has cycles and wants to do one of those, or even wants to create it your own idea, we'd love to get some contributions in that area. And now I guess I will open it up for open discussion. Anybody have anything that they want to discuss at all? I do know that I'm going to go back in my calendar and look, but I do think that there is a Backstage community call after this, right? Yeah, in an hour from now, for anybody who does like to attend, there is an adoption SIG at the top of the next hour. So I know there's a number of us that will be going to that. Other than that, anybody else have any comments that they wanted to bring up today? No? Okay, I do know that there's been some work on our existing topology plugin to add some additional details and support. So I'm hoping that once our Showcase app is back up next call, we'll be able to demo some of that. And I know a lot of other things are going on, so hopefully in 2 weeks we'll be able to do a little bit more of a live demo of some of the progress we've made. So thanks everybody for joining, and I hope to see you in a couple of weeks or on Slack.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.